G'day everyone, welcome to this week's newsletter. Hopefully you've had a great week. Yeah, the week's certainly flying by. It just seems like yesterday we were talking about the financial year end, and yeah, we're well and truly into July. But look, it's been a busy week, flat out doing a few bank reviews. The banks typically want a lot of information straight after the end of the financial year for some clients, so busy doing that. At the same time, updating a lot of cash flow forecasts, particularly for the next 6-12 months. Just sort of mapping out a bit of a plan. Also, putting a lot of time into the future prosperity process. We just feel that that's a critical document. And when we are dealing with banks and dealing with other stakeholders like that, it's important to really bring all that information together into one spot, as opposed to it, being across a number of different balance sheets and financial statements. So, yeah, we are going to put a lot more effort and time into that, just to make sure that all that information is all kept up to date. We've also been trialling it's not new, we use it internally, but it's called Carbon for Clients, Carbon with a K. Now, Carbon is our internal accounting software management software, and what they've done is they've got a module now that can get connected to what we use, and it's called Carbon for Clients. So what that's going to enable us to do is share information with you. I guess the key reason for doing that is around security, so we're not emailing us financial statements, tax returns and other sensitive information. So we'll keep trialling that, but it's basically going to be a portal. Initially it's, I guess, sharing information, obtaining information from you as well. You can upload stuff and send it through to us, but I can sort of see that that's going to be a really important platform moving forward. Well, there's still a lot of talk about tax reform. So even though, we've probably, since the federal budget, it's been pretty full on, but even last week, there was commentary within the Labor Party that certain areas of the Labor Party didn't feel they'd gone hard enough with tax reform, hard enough with CGT, hard enough with changing negative gearing. There's been a bit of talk just in the last few days around superannuation. So, look, I suppose it just does highlight that, with a lot of the tax concessions and exemptions that we have got, we need to be really making sure that we're taking advantage of those and controlling what we can. It does really get back to, as I touched on earlier, the future prosperity process that we do work through, how important that is, just having a really thorough understanding, all that information in one spot. It's going to be particularly important over the next couple of years, as we do need to look at structures. We have got a bit of time, but the sooner we start looking at that, the better. Because we do, in many situations, really have to restructure businesses. So, we have started that process, and we do need to continue on. And with today's articles, that's really all about. It's really to start that education process around structures and how important they are. So there's 3 articles on that. The first entity that we look at is a sole trader. So, and we'll be continuing this theme with trusts, companies and so forth. Before I go, thanks again for your continued support, and have a fantastic week, and we'll catch up and do it all again next week. Thank you.